Let's look at these markets and see where they're headed for next week and what the last month has shown us. This is Mike, the tactical stock scalper. All right. We're going to start off here with NDX, which would be QQQY for all my QQQY lovers. We talked about this a couple days ago that if this held the 20 period moving average, it was time to go in on QQQY. We needed a touch, which we got there at the red candle. Then we needed confirmation of a hold, which we got there where you see this arrow. That was the time to get in QQQY as we were expecting a bounce from this level. We definitely got the bounce. How high will this bounce go? We don't know. But when it hits these levels, it's just a great spot to average in because you're expecting a bounce. So instead of buying up at the highs today, if you'd have used the chart and watched my video from a couple days ago, you would have known to buy at this 20 period moving average and your QQQY would be up. Let's look at the NDX on a weekly time frame. Okay. So as you see here, each candle represents a week, and man, this market has just really ripped, right? It is just doing fantastic. Now, I will warn you and caution you, there will be pullbacks. There will be corrections in the future. You can't get stretched like this from the mean or from moving averages too far before they come back and test them. So on a weekly time frame, you can see where the first moving average is, which is that white line, which is a 20 period EMA. You can see that. And it's got a ways to fall until it even catches the first one on a weekly time frame. Let's look at NDX on a macro level. Each candlestick here represents a month. And now you can clearly see from a monthly perspective how far away we are even from monthly resistance. This thing has just rocketed up for the last 4 months. Look at that. I mean, if there's any indication that we have been in a massive bull market. And I want to show you this. Even during this pullback, we're going to pull up a daily chart. Okay, we had this pullback here. Okay, I'm going to draw a little line here for you. And people were freaking out. You see this period here? Okay. We had this pullback here during this time, and people were absolutely losing their mind that this was some kind of major correction. And it wasn't. It was just a nice, sizable pullback. And then here recently, this one really kind of worried me about people's mentality was this here. Okay. Okay, you see this little area I pointed to? People were really freaking out. And if people remember when they had QQQY at the beginning of the month, you know how everything was going down? People were really like getting nervous and upset. Guys, this is just a minor, very minor pullback. And it's nothing like this over here, right? So I just want to warn you and caution you that pullbacks happen, okay? Deep pullbacks like this, right? Like this one we just talked about. This is a deep pullback right here. These happen. And if this bothered you, let's just say, right here, where I drew this line earlier, if this little 5-day span bothered you owning QQQY, this right here is really going to freak you out, okay? But look at the overall trend in the market. It was just a pullback to the 200 period moving average that you see there in purple. It was nothing. It was expected. It was normal, right? That is normal. If this happens up here and people that are just getting in these funds, they're going to absolutely lose their mind. They will not know how to deal with this. So what I recommend you do, look at the daily chart, okay? Then pull up a weekly chart, and then you can see now in the grand scheme of things how kind of small that was. I mean, this was a year over here, right? This was like a full year of a down market right there. Now let's pull up a monthly chart. Look how small and inconsequential these pullbacks are. And if you are getting upset, I mean, look at this one up here that I showed you on a daily time frame. See this little red line here? Okay. Right here. Let me get this trend line here. That's where we were on the daily chart, where I showed you that minor pullback. It was still a green month, but people were still losing their minds over a 4 to 5, 6 day pullback. Okay. And even this with a 3 month pullback, because this is a monthly chart, each candlestick represents a month, it's nothing in the grand scheme of the market. So I just kind of want to caution my friends here. And when we're looking at, let's just say QQQY for this example, right? These happen and they are going to happen. And, you know, like I said, and I've said this a couple times already in the video, sorry about that. If these little pullbacks right here really affect you, these may not be the funds for you, because look at this, right? These things will happen. And the market, doesn't always go up. And I know these funds are new and a lot of people have gotten in on this major run. We're going to go ahead and remove these trend lines here for a second. Sorry about that. Okay, come on, remove for me. There we go. So most people have gotten in on, let's say, QQQY, in here somewhere, right? They've gotten in this area. So they know nothing about the market going down. And guys, it will. And so it's very important that you have the mentality to understand that we're in a bull market. This is something that is great for us, for everyone that's an investor. But these things happen where the markets go down over time. And even this period here was just shaking so many people out of their positions because they would have lost their minds with this kind of pullback here, right? If these funds would have been around then, these people would have absolutely lost their mind. When this is just nothing, guys. This is just a natural pullback. So even though the markets are ripping, everyone's in good spirits. One red day gets people upset. Just be aware mentally that these things happen and to allocate, your funds accordingly. Save cash, keep it on the sidelines, and be ready to buy during these periods. And buy little amounts, right, during these type of run-ups. And that's how you preserve capital. And that's how you make more money in the long run, particularly with something like QQQY. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed the content. This is Mike, Tacticals.